Hello, everyone. I'm Patrick Johnson, the site coordinator for the Military Adaptive Sports Program here at Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland. I'm actually off site right now. I'm up in Richmond, Virginia at Coach Michelle's home where she is filming the cooking clinic for the next 3 days. Today, we are going to be going over day one. Coach Michelle will tell you all about it and let her introduce herself here a little bit. But remember, all of these recordings, all the videos from our clinics are on the Warrior Care website. That's the Warrior Care website, but you can also contact any of your site coordinators or service leads if you have any questions or needs. So I'm going to turn it over to Coach Michelle, and we're going to cook some fun stuff today, and I'll try not to burn down the house. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Michelle Allen, Coach Allen. Today we will be, first I want to say thank you for letting me come on and be a coach with you all. It's such an honor. I am a spouse to a retired military vet, 23 years, and he's behind the camera. I'm going to get him to come around so he can say hi. We try to do a family thing. This is my husband, Steven.
Hello, everyone.
Can y'all see him? All right. Well, today we are going to be cooking shrimp scampi. I do have it two different ways. You can do it either uh, keto, and so if you are using the spaghetti squash, I'm sorry, I did state that you would have to have that cooked ahead of time because it does take 45 minutes at least to cook your spaghetti squash. You can also have spaghetti squash that's already made. You can use zucchini noodles or zoodles. If you do have those things, you would want those to be thawed out and the moisture taken out of those noodles before you start. So you would squeeze out the water either with a dish towel or whatever, but you want to make sure that the water is out of those. Okay. Um, to get started, we do have. I like to show my ingredients, and so we do have some crushed garlic or minced garlic. You have onions. We have some shallots, butter, olive oil. I forgot to zest my lemon, but we'll zest that together. We have some salt, some pepper, and crushed red peppers, and of course some shrimp. Okay. Today, I didn't know we had this, but we do have my white wine. It was in a can, so this is something different. So we're gonna roll with that. All right. I did start my water boiling. So while that is boiling, it's already been salted. I'm gonna go ahead and add my fettuccine to this, so it can start cooking. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh. Anyway, I'm a little OCD in my cooking. I always have to have a sink full of water because I like to constantly wipe down. So you see me constantly wiping, but that helps me stay on track so we don't have so much to clean up after I cook. Um, I'm going to go ahead and heat our pan up here. And again, this is just regular water, salted water. And that was fettuccine noodles. You can use any noodles you like. So this is a pound of noodles that I have. Um, and this is going to make a serving size for 4 people. So you have 4 people that can eat off of this one meal. Okay. At this point, if you do not want to use olive oil, you can use your sunflower oil, or you can and butter, or you can eliminate the butter altogether and just use your sunflower oil. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil to the pan, and I'm going to add. Okay, I got to use my fingers, y'all. I forgot my fork. I'm going to add my butter to that. And the reason why you add the butter to the olive oil is to add fat to the pan, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get that melted. And I wanna make sure I'm following along with the instructions because I do get carried away and I'll just cook. So I wanna make sure I'm following along with the instructions I gave you guys. All right. So what we're gonna do now, once this is melted, we're gonna add our onions and garlic and shallots to the pan, okay? Just give that a few more minutes. All right. This is 1 medium onion. This is 2 shallots that's chopped. My husband says I don't say that right. He always says I say it wrong. But I mean, y'all know what I mean, right? It's the little shallot. Shallot, shallot. He's always messing with me. Hey, tomato, tomato. All right. We're going to go ahead and add our garlic to that too. And what we want to do is cook that until your onions become translucent. So it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to cook. Let's give it a good stir. You don't want your garlic to burn, so kind of watch that. It will become fragrant when you start to smell the garlic. That's a good point to stop. While that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and zest my lemon. So your tool said that you can either have a zester, which would be this. You can also use a grater. A lot of people don't have a zester. So if you have a grater, it works all the same. And you just take your lemon and you grate it. You're just grating the outside of the skin. And what happens is it adds a nice added lemon flavor to your dish. And I do want to say, I am not culinary trained. I just love to cook. And so all my techniques may not be like correct, but
Are you
it works.
saying that even somebody like me could possibly cook a real meal?
Yes, yes. My motto is if I can cook it, you can cook it too. We're just a regular home wife, grandmother that loves to cook and have people that love to eat. So anybody can cook it. And it does say zest of 1 lemon. So it varies. If you don't like a lot of lemon, you don't have to use a lot of lemon on here. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and season my shrimp because I can smell my garlic. It smells real good in here right now. But you see that the onions are cooking down. They're starting to sweat here. On those measurements, if you like more garlic, you can add more garlic to it. If you like less, you can, you can pretty much do this however you want. If you want to add tomatoes to this, you can add tomatoes. You can make it be whatever you want. Let me stir my pasta right quick because you don't want that to stick. Give it a quick stir. All right. So here I just have some pepper. I'm just add some pepper to this. Mix it up. I have, yes. The instruction says a teaspoon. I did put a little bit more because I have a little bit more shrimp here. Give that a good mix. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to our mixture there and saute it up. Okay. And you just want to cook your shrimp until they're opaque. So opaque is just a light pink in color because they are going to go back into the pan once they finish. So you don't want to overcook it.
So, Michelle, is there something, if I don't like shrimp, that I can substitute?
Yes, you can use chicken. You can do chicken scampi. So scampi is just using the seasoning of garlic, butter, and herbs. So if you don't want to use shrimp. You don't have to use shrimp. You can use any other type of protein you want. I haven't tried turkey scampi. Can't tell you what it tastes like, but I'm pretty sure you could try it. That's the fun thing about food is you can pretty much do with it whatever you like. And so you're never going to know what it tastes like until you try it, right? All right, I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Also, you're going to see me switch between utensils. So because I just did this with the raw shrimp, I'm not going to use this again once the shrimp is finished because I don't want to cross-contaminate the food.
So, Coach, if you had like family members or like say if two roommates are cooking this meal, they could use separate utensils and separate pans, and maybe use shrimp for one and chicken for the other half.
Sure, you can do that. But you want to just make sure whatever you're cooking, you're not cross-contaminating from cooked food and the raw food because you don't want to get sick. So you just make sure if you touched it with the raw, use something else for the cooked part. Okay. All right. So if you look in the pan there, you see they're starting to turn pink. It's getting that opaque color. I'm gonna go ahead and give it one more turn. Turn over the other side and make sure they all get that. Want to make sure they're just opaque, just a little bit. If you overcook your shrimp, they're gonna taste rubbery. You don't want that. So say you had shrimp that was already cooked, because of course they do sell it that way too. You can thaw it out, but you want to put those shrimps in at the latter part of this recipe because you don't want to overcook those either and make them rubbery, too hard to chew, okay? So just give that a few more minutes. All right.
For you guys out there, if you could smell what I'm having to smell right now, I realize that I'm hungry because it smells really good in here with this garlic and shrimp.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take these out the pan now, and we're going to just set them to the side on a plate. I'm going to turn my fire down. And you want to keep them warm, but you want to stop the cooking process, so that's why I'm taking them out of the pan. You guys see that color on there? You want to make sure it's just, it looks like they're not all the way cooked, but that's just where you want it to be, just like that. All right. Now I'm going to tint foil this so that it can stay warm while we do the other part. Set that to the side. Tint covering is just not tightly covered. You want to let the steam be able to escape, but you want it enough to keep it warm, okay? So at this part, this is where we're going to go ahead and put the juice of our lemons in. I already seeded my lemon. You can use fresh lemon juice, or you can use 2 tablespoons of store-bought lemon juice. Give it a good squeeze. Now I'm going to add my zest of my lemon in here. And this should be 1 cup of white wine vinegar. I'm sorry, white wine. If you do not want wine, you can use half and half of white wine vinegar with half part water. And you can add that. Please be sure to check your white wine vinegar, because just because it was on the shelf doesn't mean it's good. Sometimes they're spoiled on the shelf. You don't want anything floating around in that white wine vinegar, okay? So you got 1 cup. And what we're going to do here is to the mixture, and you want it down to half. It's going to cook and let it come to a boil. And my husband said, slow down. Oh, what you said? I think yes, you're going to reduce that by half, okay? And what that does is it gets all the goodness off of there that you just sauteed, even though it looks like it might be burnt on your pan. That wine is going to deglaze your pan, and all those little brown bits, it just adds good goodness to your dish. I'm going to check on my pasta because it should be done. You don't want to overcook your pasta. I like to take and reserve a cup of the pasta water just in case I need to add it into my mixture because it doesn't have enough liquid in there. So just a few more minutes. I'm gonna.
How do we know when pasta's ready? Because I always mess that up.
Okay, so I usually taste it, but they say you can take the pasta and throw it on the wall and it'll stick. It does work, but most times, depending on how you're cooking your pasta, you want to cook it to al dente, so it's just a little underdone. Maybe you're making macaroni and cheese, or in this instance, I'm gonna take that pasta and put it in. You don't want it to be bad. Just about 8 minutes or so is what it normally takes to make the pasta al dente. I say follow directions on your package. You shouldn't go wrong. The kitchen timer is your best friend if you're unsure about about cooking it. Okay.
I do have a
good
question.
Yes,
really
ma'am.
What are the advantages to using pasta water to add to your sauce rather than just a normal cup of water?
So it's going to add flavor, but that pasta water also has starch in it, and so it helps the stuff to cling better to your pasta, right? So when I finish cooking this pasta, I'm not going to rinse it because I want that starch to stay on there. Rinsing your pasta off rinses off the starch that comes from natural starch that was in your water. But it's just a flavor. You can always use water if you want to. You can also use chicken stock or vegetable stock. But in this case, I would just use my pasta water, reserve water on the side, just in case I need it.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So this is not half yet, so I'm going to keep letting that boil down a little bit. And as soon as that gets where I need it to be, we are going to go on to the next step. Oh, well, while we're waiting, tomorrow's clinic, we are going to be cooking some hand pies, fruit hand pies, lollipop sticks. We're going to make some lollipops with it. I'm going to have my little 4-year-old in here helping us out in the kitchen. So if you guys want to learn to make some fruit hand pies, come on back tomorrow. I would love to have you. I think my daughter is going to steal the show, though. Thursday, I'm sorry. We're going to do, I say this wrong, so y'all excuse, Zuppa Toscana. I think that's how you say it, from Olive Garden. So we're going to do that 2 ways. We're going to do a keto version, a vegan version, and a regular version. I will not be cooking both versions. I'm going to cook the regular version, but the ingredients are pretty much the same for the vegan. You're just going to use the vegan ingredients to do the vegan version of the same dish. So this way, you guys, if you have somebody in your house that doesn't eat meat or whatever the case may be, and you like meat, you can make the same dish, have the same meal, just in the way that they like it. I hope you guys come back and join us for the next 2 days of clinic. All right. So this is looking good. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my pasta. I think I had it turned down the wrong way, but I'm gonna try my little pasta. It's stuck. So look at there, it's done. Look at that. Did y'all see that? All right.
Yeah. Who has to clean it up? Your husband.
Well, I'm a little OCD, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that right now. I'm gonna go ahead and get that right now, to be honest, because I can't do that. All right, Patrick saw my little sink full of water. I had to explain to him why. So I'm gonna go ahead and get me a cup of water out of here, and see if you see it. The water is starchy. It's not clear anymore. So that's also we salted that water, and so it's also going to add that flavor back into your pan. Let me go ahead and get this. I promise I didn't pour that in the sink. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add, what am I doing? My butter and oil. So this is going to help make our sauce now that I'm sorry, I turned that off. I'm going to add the other half of the butter. I don't know what I did with my utensils, you guys. Give me 1 second. I tried to be totally prepared, but I guess I wasn't. And the other part of the oil, and we're gonna go ahead and let that simmer and mix in there real good. We're gonna add the shrimp back in, our pepper flakes. Did it not come on? Our pepper flakes. Again, this spatula was not used for anything raw, so I'm just go ahead and give that a twirl and try to help it melt on down. You can taste your sauce to see if it needs any more seasoning, whether it needs salt or pepper. You can season this to your taste. I think it's going to be all right for me. I'm going to go ahead and add in some pepper flakes. The thing about pepper flakes, you don't need a lot, because the more heat, the more hot. I mean, the more you heat it up, the hotter the pepper flakes are. So if you don't like spicy, you only need a little bit. If you like spicy, you can pour the whole bottle. Pour the whole bottle in if you want. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my shrimp back in. Still is for the cooked shrimp. We're going to get Patrick to taste this and let y'all know how it tastes.
Enough for that.
All right. You're also going to go ahead and add in your pasta. Just give it a good mix up in there. This smell does not take long to cook at all. Again, you don't want it to be, you don't want to leave it in there too long, because you don't want your shrimp to get overcooked. And the pasta is already cooked. I'm just trying to give it a good mix up.
What's the difference between Alfredo and Scampi?
Alfredo is a creamy sauce that's usually made of, if you make it from scratch, it's just Parmesan cheese and heavy whipping cream. That's all you need to make Alfredo sauce at home from scratch. A lot of people don't know that, but that's all you need. And so it's a creamy base. Scampi is a clear base that's made from butter and oil. And that's the basic difference from Alfredo and Scampi. All right. So to be honest, this dish is done. I don't know if it looks good to y'all, but it is done. What you say, babe? I am gonna plate it. I like to add a little bit of parsley on the top, and that is our meal. I'm gonna let it stay on for a second.
Wonderful. So, Coach, well, how often? I know it sounds like you have a very knowledgeable sous chef here today, and in hubby. How do you guys get together often, or do you find it something that's kind of a good way to spend time together, or going off today?
So, if the truth be told, when I'm in the kitchen, I do not like nobody in the kitchen with me. So he has his moments where he cooks and he does his meals, and I might come over and mess with him a little bit and be like, you didn't do that right," and it's kind of like, "Get out of the kitchen, I got this." And then but we do help each other out sometimes. So I do a lot of parties and different things like that. So he does help me in the kitchen, and he does cook from time to time. Can't say that we're always cooking together.
Well, I noticed the dynamic of it between you, and it's just really cool to see. I know, like sometimes us as roommates or husband, wives, or just family members, we're looking for ways to kind of connect. And it's like just you guys' energy together in the kitchen is really cool, and it's an opportunity to connect and bond on doing something, even if Michelle wants to kick him out of the kitchen every once in a while. That's okay.
Yes, yes, yes. We do come together and we do work as a team. So I do videos, cooking videos online. He is behind the camera. He does help me out with that. And so I can't say he doesn't help me. He does. He's a trooper. All my little quirkiness is he goes along with it. He tries to keep me on track. Is what that is. So he likes to ask questions because a lot of times I get consumed with what I'm doing and may not remember my audience. So he
That's
plays a
awesome.
big part in that.
It's part of the team. Everybody has a part, and it's definitely a great team effort here. If you guys could see and smell what I have to smell, it's torture. And I have to stay over here in the other room because of social distancing, so I can't come over there and eat. But I will.
Well, I'm gonna bring him his plate. I want him to taste it. But this is the final product here. So the workshop, you can find us on Facebook. It's called the Workshop Cooking with Passion, and basically it's just me, a home cook, making different kind of meals. Just to let you know, you can if I can cook it, you can cook it too. I do a lot of variety cooking. I'm from Hawaii originally, and so there's a lot of different range of food from Filipino to Korean to Hawaiian. It's just a good mixture of foods on there. You can also find me on YouTube. The YouTube channel is actually Michelle Renee Cooking with Passion. We're on there and we're on Instagram. So we're you can find us on the social network. I am so sorry, y'all. Tongue tied. On social media is the word I'm trying to find. You can find us on there. I try to post something and do some live videos on Saturdays where you guys can cook along with me and different things. But that's basically it. It's just me, home cook.
Wonderful. Really great. I feel like maybe I can actually cook a real meal now. The workshop Cooking with Passion, as all those contacts, we will have them posted at the end of this clinic. But also you can contact myself or any of the service leads, and we'll connect you with Coach Michelle. Really, really fun first day. Just want to kind of, as we're wrapping up, are there any questions out there or any comments out there just from the peanut gallery?
Sure. So this is
Eric.
Eric.
Eric, why don't you go first?
So Michelle, my question is, have you ever thought about using rendered bacon fat versus butter?
So I have not used rendered bacon fat, but it is good. You can use it. I've used ghee before, clarified butter, but I have not used the bacon fat. But you can, because that would actually add a lot of flavor to your dish. So it's really your preference. I don't have a bacon fat to I put my bacon in the oven, so I don't fry it, so I don't never get that bacon grease to use or bacon fat.
So Eric, why don't you do this
That's
recipe sometime, maybe this week, and with bacon fat, and give us a review? And you're obviously going to have to bring me a plate because that's a given. Rachel, I see Rachel. Did you have a question or a comment?
I just want to say, hey, girl.
Hey,
I'm a
Rachel.
later.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm glad to have you on here. So, like, background, me and Michelle grew up together, so I'm so glad to bring her to the group. But yes, I am using bacon in mine and peppers when I make
Yes,
my.
yes.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, Rachel, thank you so much for connecting me and Michelle. This is great cooking. And I know I'm in trouble because I didn't invite Rachel to ride down here with me. So I better bring her a plate. That's all I know. So any other questions or comments? It's okay if you don't. You can always email them to me. I will get them to Coach Michelle. But more importantly, once again, this is 3-day clinic. It's being recorded. You'll be able to find all the recipes, all these workshops. You can follow along and recreate this by following the video. It'll be up on the Warrior Care website sometime next week. But other than that, we're going to wrap up. There's our beautiful dish. So I'm trying to get off so I can go and eat that. But this is day one of the MASP Military Adaptive Sports Program Cooking Clinic hosted here at Walter Reed Hospital. And we're in Richmond, Virginia with Coach Michelle. And we hope we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same bat station. And have a great day. And once again, use cooking as a way to connect. Cooking is about love. Cooking is about family. Cooking is about connection. So get in that kitchen and burn something together. So we are checking out. Thank you, Coach Michelle.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks,
And
Michelle.
we are wrapping up. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye. You're welcome. Thank you.